It's my birthday today. Today I turned 24! Yeah! When this is up, on August 22, I turned 24. This year, I'd like to actually let you guys know a little bit more about me, so I'm actually gonna just tell you 24 things about myself. God help us all if I'm still on YouTube when I'm 50. 1. I was born in Miami Beach, Florida. A super cute, dark-eyed, dark-haired little baby. 2. When I was a toddler, I was obsessed with Disney. The first time I met Mickey was a performer at a mall, and when he shook my hand, I went back to my mom and just went, "Mano, Mickey," which translates to hand, Mickey, hand, Mickey. 3, I don't know if this counts as 2 as well, but around the same time, I was living in Peru and I played Ring Around the Rosie with a Pinocchio, and his hand left my hand smelling really bad, and he smelled really bad, and I will never forget that, and I was probably about 3 years old. 4, between the ages of 4 to 6, I don't remember the exact age I was, but it was around that time that my younger sister was diagnosed with autism. There wasn't really any hope of her speaking, and my mom, I remember that moment, my mom, she was taking me out of the bathtub, and she wrapped me in a towel, and she took another towel and she scruffled my hair, and she started crying. For a kid, she tried to explain it to me in these terms. She tried to tell me, "Annie, your little sister, she has a boo-boo in her brain, and she's going to need your help." And she broke down crying. That was the day I made a promise to my mom. I promised her that she would never have to worry, that for the rest of her life, I would be there to take care of my sister. I promised her that I would do everything that I could to help her and to teach her and be there for her for the rest of her life. 5 relates to that, I guess. So around that age, I worked incessantly trying to teach my sister how to talk. I created little games for her to try to teach her opposites, try to teach her like big and little, and just as much as I could, worked with her to try and get her to talk, and eventually she did. Even though she still speaks minimally, it's honestly a blessing that she can talk at all. It's awesome. 6, I would sing all the time at home. I wish I could find some home videos, but I remember there was plenty between the ages of 4 and 6. I would sing The Sound of Music to my dad's video camera. Wizard of Oz, and he was the one that introduced me into all these musicals, and I loved musicals, and I would sing all the time. It was around 1st or 2nd grade. I sang for the first time in front of a classroom. I got this amazing audience reaction. I was not very cool. People did not really want to be my friend. I was a big old loser. I wore glasses and had long stringy hair and wore my uniform the wrong way, and I was always hanging out with my sister, and I was just really socially awkward, and I never knew the right thing to say, so people didn't really like me. And when I sang, you know, I felt like my peers liked me. They clapped for me, and I finally felt some type of affection, and it really just pushed my love for music even more. 7, a lot of people actually don't know this, but I was raised in Peru until I was around that age, and Spanish was my first language. I was bullied a lot for not knowing English and for being stupid, and I worked really hard to get rid of my accent, to learn English better than all of them, damn it, and here I am, and here's how I speak today. 8. When I was little, more than anything, I wanted to be Britney Spears. Now that I'm older, I don't know if I wanted to be Britney Spears as much as I wanted to be on or under Britney Spears, but I was obsessed with her choreography, and I still kind of am, and I'm still a little obsessed with her, and I love her so much. 9, when I was younger, I was also really into writing, and I won actually a lot of writing contests. So although when I was younger in elementary school, like, I really wasn't very cool, and God, I was so socially inept, but I was good at things, and that gave me a little boost of self-esteem. 10. Age 10 was a crazy year. I remember that. I was a big old tomboy that year. I only hung out with boys. I hated dresses. I felt so uncomfortable with them. I was such a little tomboy. That year also sparked a real big trigger for my incoming body dysmorphic disorder and depression. I was graduating elementary school. My dad took me out to dinner, and I felt so pretty. Like, I never really thought about the way I looked. I just knew people didn't like me because I was weird, but I never really even thought about what I looked like. At that dinner, my dad looks over his menu, and he said to me with a voice of sheer disappointment, he goes, "Oh, Annie, one day when I can afford it, I'm going to get you a nose job." That comment completely blew my mind. 11. When I was 11, I went to a new school with new people, and I thought there was an opportunity for a new start. And I decided to conform and camouflage myself as one of the cool kids. But being in the cool kids group for as little time as I was really not so cool. They kind of sucked as people. There's a lot of rules, a lot of touching, and I was like, we're 11, what are you guys doing? By the end of that year, I got out of there. 12. I want to stick around on 12 for a second. Age 12 was it was probably the deepest depression I've been in my whole life. Oh God, I'm gonna cry. When I was 12, I was deeply depressed. I lived every day thinking that everyone hated me. My mom was working a lot to help support us. My dad became really abusive. So I felt very alone. I felt like I was taking care of my younger siblings. I felt like my mom wasn't really around. I felt attacked every time I set foot in my house by my dad. I felt pressure to protect my little siblings. I was lonely, and I thought it was so ugly. I thought that when I walked down the hallway that people were holding in their vomit as I passed. It got really bad, and suicide was on my mind all the time. And there was a night that I came very close to ending my life. I want to take a second with 12 because today I'm turning 24, and I am now double the age than I was when it could have all been over. So I'd like to take the number 12 to let you know that if you're ever feeling in the dark like that I hope you keep fighting. I did not expect that to happen. Let's continue. Hold on. I need to gather. 13. I met people who became my friends, and I really needed them, and they kind of saved me. Around that age, I also started standing up to my dad, telling him that he can't talk to me like that or about my mother that way. I was getting bigger, I was getting stronger, and I would fight back. 14. As an adolescent and even as a college student, I survived about 4 violent and sexual attacks. When I was in high school was my first experience with sex violence. It was the most violent one, the most traumatic one, and he knew people that were seniors or whatever, and before I could tell anyone what happened, he made up a false story about how I wanted him, and then he rejected me, and that I was bitter, and that I was going to spread a story about what he did before I could tell anyone, which left me isolated and depressed. And now there were rumors about me being a slut. I'm just glad I survived it. 15. I started working. I was an usher at Actors Playhouse, and I started serving at a Mediterranean restaurant. And I'm a good server. I really don't like serving, and also because a lot of people don't know how to eat out and how to tip, but that's for another video. besides that, I did fairly well. 16. So I got a taste of my artistic skills when I was younger with writing and singing, and even towards the end of middle school started joining drama club and got into acting. Towards the end of high school I got into more light design and directing, and that's why I say I love art in all its forms. Like, I love anything artistic that you can do. 17. I graduated high school by a miracle. It is so bizarre. I had an excellent GPA. I have excellent grades throughout everything I ever did. I was pretty academic. The one thing that was going to prevent me from graduating high school was math. That's it. Math was the only thing I could never get. I don't know what I did, but I got through and I graduated, and college I still had the same problems with math, and I'm fairly certain I have a math disability because I have difficulty with even the simplest, like, mathematics, like addition. I don't really have to worry about that right now. Woo! 18. I was accepted into an acting conservatory in downtown Miami, and I went there. It was awesome, and I just studied acting all day, and I was in college, so I drank a lot and went to a lot of parties, so that was crazy. We can talk about that another time also. 19. Wham! 19 was another hard depression year too. I think my depression has hit me hard at 12, 16, 19, and I've been fighting it again this year. So depression is a constant, and it's something that's genetically, it's hereditary in my family. When I was 19, I was depressed again. Around the end of that year, I came out to my mom. She did not take it very well that day, but things have improved. 20. When I was 20 years old, I created stophatingyourbody.tumblr.com, and it went so much better than I ever thought it could ever go. I hit my deep depression again when I was 19. I was confronted by a professor of mine to really evaluate myself, my mental health. So I took initiative and I left school to recover, to take personal time to myself and figure myself out. And towards the end of it, I hit such a, I was hitting a real big, positive and euphoric place. And I had found such mental clarity, and I was so happy, and I just wanted to spread what I'd found with people. So I made videos on YouTube, and I created Stop Hating Your Body. It's pretty freaking awesome. 21. Not exactly when I was 21, but 20, I guess, at age 20, around that time where I was recovering from my BDD and depression, I went on a vacation by myself, and it was the most amazing trip ever. And on my old YouTube channel, I completely vlogged about it and told the whole story. I might do that again because I remember it, and it's a pretty awesome story. I loved it. 22, I got my first tattoo. It says "Keep Moving Forward," and it's a mixture of a Walt Disney quote and in honor of my dad, who had passed away, and we had reconciled before he passed, and I forgave him, and we actually started becoming pretty good friends around the time that he was dying, and so I choose to remember him for the positive things that he brought to this world. I don't forget the bad things that he did, but I choose to remember him in a way that he should be remembered. 23, I worked in Disney World! Oh my god, see how much better these guys... I know it towards the middle there was looking really sad and glum, but as I get older, things are only improving. Dude, 23 this year has been crazy. I worked in Disney World, something that I've always wanted to do. Pose nude for a painting, that was impossible if you've been watching this whole video when I was younger. Not that I should be getting naked when It was very progressive, and I got involved in a lot of things in my community, and I'm still making YouTube videos. I think it's pretty great. One glum thing, of course, is that I'm in chronic pain right now, and I can't really stand a lot, but I don't need to stand to make YouTube videos. Yay! And now I'm 24. So what can we expect from 24? Well, I am re-entering the world of freelance photography. I haven't done photography really since college, so I'm kind of like giraffe walking my way back in there, but I miss it and I love it. I love photography, I love videography, I love editing, it's just so much fun. I am currently a co-host on a radio show at Lovebox, and I'll link it below. I am part of an initiative that's making a women's festival this September to celebrate women and to educate about women's issues. I'm working, I'm still taking care of my sister, I'm doing a lot of things. And I only discover more things about myself every day, and live honestly every day, and try my best to do good, and try my best to be happy. As you've heard in this video, it's been a rough ride, but I try and be happy. And I hope that you'll try and be happy too. This has gone on long enough. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys eventually. Love you all. Bye! Bye.